It's the general relationship itself. I mean, the tensions between our two countries have never been as high as they are. Certainly, it's China's aggression that is driving this, and their strategic goals to dominate the Indo-Pacific region and replace the United States as the world's leader that is driving that. And I think the top of line issue for the administration, the concern that they have, is given the tension between the two countries, that as a result of that, we don't have some unintended consequences that leads to conflict. That has got to be on the back of our minds as we begin these negotiations. A virtual meeting certainly not nearly as good as one in person. President Xi obviously doesn't have confidence in his vaccination program to the degree that the United States and other world leaders have, because they've been meeting quite regularly in person here, and it's unfortunate that meeting isn't taking place. But both of these leaders come into this meeting politically. President Xi's just been enshrined by the Chinese Communist Central Committee leading up to what will likely be somewhat of a coronation next year when he gets his third term in office, implying that he'll stay in office indefinitely. President Biden politically, as you have reported and we've been reporting for some time, is having some problems in support from the American people for his policies. Economically, both of us are facing headwinds, to be sure. But it's actually, it's China's aggression. They're a rapid growing military in the world. The balance of power in the Indo-Pacific region has shifted to them militarily. Their cyber warfare campaign is the most massive undertaking by any country to undermine another country's civil society and to steal its technology and its information. And clearly, the United States has got to push back and tell President Xi unequivocally that this kind of aggression we are going to continue to counter and confront. It's not enough just to compete. And we can't have any of the language that President Obama had years ago when he tried to counter President Xi on the South China Sea expansion and also over cybersecurity. And what happened as a result of that? Despite President Xi saying, yes, he'll take that into account and he's going to curb his behavior. That's my words, not his. What did he do? He doubled down on all of it. So even what the Chinese say may not have much meaning. What we have to do is watch what they actually do, because President Xi lied to President Obama, obviously. And certainly the nature of this relationship is always going to be tense because of, look, we're at an ideological impasse. These two systems are diametrically opposed to each other based on our values and our aspirations for our own people and what our relationship with other countries in the world are about. There's nothing that's going to change that ideological separation. What we need to do is make sure it doesn't lead to military confrontation and conflict. And that's the undercurrent of what's taken place here.